Today, almost everything can be done faster. Need an answer? Search it. Need a workout plan? Download one. Need motivation? Watch a short video and feel fired up for a few minutes. Speed is everywhere. But if everything is getting easier and faster, why do so many people still feel stuck? Because growth doesn't come from shortcuts. Growth comes from discipline. This is where the real comparison begins. On one side, there's a shortcut mindset. On the other, there's the discipline mindset. Both exist in the same world, but they lead to very different lives. The shortcut mindset says, what's the fastest way? The discipline mindset asks, what's the right way? Think about athletes for a moment. A player might look for quick results, skip practice details, avoid extra reps, or only train when they feel motivated. It works for a little while, but eventually something happens. Pressure shows up. A big game, a tough opponent, a moment that demands more than just talent. And that's where the difference becomes obvious. The athlete who relied on shortcuts starts to struggle. The one who chose discipline stands steady. Now let's bring this into everyday life, because this isn't just about sports. A student crams the night before a test versus the student who studies a little each day. The employee reacts emotionally in a stressful meeting versus the one who practiced staying calm under pressure. Someone who wants to get in shape waits for motivation versus the person who trains even when they don't feel like it. These are all small choices, but they reveal something important. They reveal character, and sometimes they reveal the lack of it. That might sound firm, but it's the truth many people need to hear. Character isn't built when things are easy. Character is built in preparation, long before the moment that tests you. Here's the mistake people make today. They think progress is supposed to feel exciting all the time. But real growth is quiet, repetitive, and boring. Doing the extra workout, practicing patience when you're frustrated, preparing when no one's watching. It doesn't always feel rewarding in the moment, but over time you build something powerful. You build trust in yourself. When you've prepared properly, you walk into situations differently. You're calmer, you're more confident, you don't panic as easily because you've already done the work. And that's something shortcuts can never give you. Shortcuts give you temporary results. Discipline gives you lasting strength. Another way to look at it is like this. Shortcuts focus on outcomes, while discipline focus on preparation. One tries to skip steps, the other respects the process. In today's world, preparation is becoming rare. Everyone wants results, but fewer people are willing to prepare deeply for them. That's actually an opportunity, because if you choose discipline, you instantly separate yourself from the crowd. Not by being louder or more talented, but by being more prepared. Real growth happens when you decide that preparation matters more than convenience. It happens when you stop asking, what's the easiest way, and start asking, what kind of person do I want to become? At the end of the day, this isn't just about success, it's about identity. Are you someone who waits until things get serious, or are you someone who prepares before they have to? One builds pressure, the other builds confidence. The future belongs to people who prepare while others delay. So start building habits that make you stronger before life tests you. Train your mindset, practice staying calm. Do the extra work when it's not required. Because when the real moment arrives, you won't be hoping you're ready. You'll know you are. Burnout has become one of the most common experiences of modern life. It shows up quietly at first, a lack of energy, a loss of enthusiasm, a sense that everything feels heavier than it should. And over time it deepens. Days blur together, motivation fades, even rest stops working. Many people assume this means they're weak, ungrateful, or incapable of keeping up. But burnout is rarely a personal failure. More often, it's a signal. Burnout is not always caused by doing too much. Sometimes it comes from doing things that no longer feel meaningful, from giving effort without connection, from waking up every day and moving through responsibilities without understanding why they matter anymore. Purpose is what gives effort direction. Without it, even small tasks can feel exhausting. Society values productivity. People are praised for pushing through exhaustion. Keep going is treated as a virtue. But constantly pushing without reflection slowly drains something deeper than physical energy. When people lose touch with purpose, they begin to operate on autopilot. They fulfill obligations, they meet expectations, they survive, but they stop feeling alive. This is why burnout often feels confusing. From the outside, life may look stable. There may be a job, a routine, responsibilities being met, yet internally, there's a growing sense of emptiness. The work no longer feels connected to values. The effort feels transactional. Energy is spent, but nothing meaningful is restored in return. Purpose doesn't mean having a grand mission or a perfectly defined calling. It doesn't require certainty or passion every day. Purpose can be simple. It can be rooted in growth, contribution, responsibility, or integrity. What matters is that actions align with something that feels personally significant. When that alignment disappears, burnout fills the gap. Many people try to fix burnout by resting more, taking time off, or changing external circumstances. While rest is important, it's rarely enough on its own. Without addressing the deeper disconnect, burnout returns. The issue is not just fatigue, it's misalignment. The body slows down because the mind and spirit are no longer engaged. Reconnecting with purpose often begins with honesty. Honest reflection about what feels draining and what feels meaningful. About where effort is being given out of obligation rather than intention. About whether current routines support growth or merely maintain survival. This kind of reflection can be uncomfortable, but it's necessary. Purpose also evolves. What once felt meaningful may no longer fit the person you're becoming. Burnout can be the sign that an old version of purpose has expired. This doesn't mean something is wrong. It means growth is occurring. Letting go of outdated motivations creates space for something more aligned to take shape. When purpose begins to return, burnout does not vanish overnight, but something shifts. Effort starts to feel lighter. Direction becomes clearer. Energy slowly rebuilds, not because life is easier, but because it feels worthwhile again. Even difficult days carry meaning when they're connected to something that matters. So for those experiencing burnout, it's important to remember, exhaustion doesn't mean you're broken. It means something within you is asking for change. Purpose is not found by pushing harder. It's rediscovered by listening more closely. Burnout is not the end. It's a crossroad, a quiet invitation to realign effort with meaning and survival with intention. When purpose returns, even in small ways, energy follows. If there's a truth many people avoid because it's uncomfortable and sometimes even painful to admit, it's this. The rewards we want in life rarely come simply because we desire them. They come because we develop into the kind of person who can hold them, sustain them, and grow with them. Rewards go to the valuable, not in the sense of worthiness as a human being, but in the sense of capability, discipline, mindset, and character. It's natural to look outward when life feels unfair or stagnant. Most people do. They blame circumstances, timing, upbringing, environment, or other people's opinions. They point to obstacles and assume that those obstacles are the reason they haven't moved forward. And yes, circumstances matter. Life deals different hands to different people, and some journeys are undeniably harder than others. Acknowledging that is honesty. But stopping there is a trap. Because even when the circumstances are real, they are not the end of the story. The harder truth, the one that requires courage to face, is that the most powerful lever we have for change is internal. Growth doesn't begin by rearranging the world around us. It begins by looking inward at our habits, our patterns, our character, our choices, and the beliefs we carry into every moment. Personal growth is uncomfortable because it forces us to confront the gap between where we are and who we could become. It asks us to accept responsibility for the areas of our lives we've avoided or neglected. It challenges us to develop new skills, new mindsets, and new levels of consistency. And for many, that internal work is far more intimidating than any external barrier. But nothing changes until we do. If we want greater opportunities, we must become the person who recognizes them, prepares for them, and follows through when they appear. If we want stronger relationships, we must cultivate the emotional maturity, communication, and patience that strong relationships require. If we want career growth or financial improvement, we must evaluate our discipline, our skill set, and our ability to add real value. Rewards don't flow to the person who simply wishes for them. They flow to the person who grows into them. This doesn't mean pushing yourself with harshness or perfectionism. It doesn't mean blaming yourself for things beyond your control. It simply means acknowledging that growth is an inside-out process. The more we evolve, the more capable we become. And as capability grows, so does opportunity. It's hard to admit that sometimes we are the ones holding ourselves back. Maybe we've clung to excuses out of fear. Maybe we've repeated old stories about who we think we are. Maybe we've avoided uncomfortable conversations or resisted habits that require discipline. Maybe we've waited for motivation instead of choosing action. Whatever the reason, self-awareness is not condemnation, it's liberation. Seeing the truth gives us the chance to change it. When we shift from blaming circumstances to taking ownership of our growth, something powerful happens. The world doesn't suddenly become easier, but we become stronger. Challenges don't disappear, but we respond to them with greater resilience. Opportunities don't magically appear, but we begin to notice and seize the ones that were always nearby. Life rewards those who consistently develop themselves, not because they're more deserving, but because they're more prepared. They've built the mindset, discipline, and internal strength to handle what they're reaching for. And the reassuring part is this: becoming more is always within reach. Growth is not reserved for a select few. It's available to anyone willing to look inward, take responsibility, and commit to the slow, steady work of becoming the person their goals require. If your life feels stagnant or unfair, start with the one place you have full access to, yourself. Not as punishment, but as empowerment. Because the moment you shift from blaming to building, from waiting to growing, you step back into your own power. And that's where the real rewards begin. There are pressures we recognize and burdens we deny. Some are heavy in our hands, like weights we've been told to carry. These appear as work, bills, expectations, the constant demands of a world that never sleeps. You can almost hear them clink as they pile up, like in a backpack you're carrying, slowing your stride. But there are other weights, quieter, invisible. They don't make a sound, but they bend us just the same. They show up in the way you hesitate before speaking. They linger in the pause before you trust. They hide in the corners of your smile. These are the weights of regret, shame, fear, the echoes of words that cut when you were young, the memory of doors that closed before you could step through, the moments you told yourself you weren't enough, and then carried that belief like an heirloom no one asked for, but somehow passed down. We all carry something. Some of us drag it like chains behind us. Some of us hold it so close it feels like part of who we are. But what no one tells us is that not every weight is truly ours. Many of them are handed to us. A parent's unhealed pain transferred in silence. A teacher's careless remark. A partner's betrayal. Even the culture around us, whispering rules about who we should be. These weights don't belong in your bag, yet somehow they ended up there. And because we've carried them so long, we forget to ask a simple question. What would life feel like if I put this down? Strength is not about holding everything together until your knees buckle. It's not about proving to the world that you can drag your pain another mile. Strength is the quiet decision to let go. The courage to say, your words do not define me. Your actions will not control me. These burdens are not mine to carry anymore. Imagine you're standing at the edge of a wide river. The water is calm, endless, and patient. You reach into your bag and take out one of these weights, doubt. You hold it in your hand, heavy but familiar. For a moment you hesitate. It almost feels wrong to release it. But then slowly you loosen your grip and let it fall. The ripples stretch outward, carrying it away. Next comes shame, then fear, then the memory of the time you told yourself you couldn't. One by one you place them into the river, and the water does what water does. It swallows them up. And in their absence, something unexpected happens. Your shoulders rise, your chest expands, your breath comes easier, deeper. You notice the air, the space, the lightness you had forgotten was even possible. Letting go is not always dramatic. It doesn't need thunder or applause. More often, it's quiet, subtle, like loosening the rope that's been gripping your body, like finally opening a window in a room you've kept locked for years. And as you walk forward without those burdens, you begin to see differently. The horizon doesn't look so far. The road doesn't feel so steep. You're no longer bent beneath the weight of what you were never meant to carry. You were not born to carry invisible backpacks. You were not put here to live bent and broken. You were born for movement, for freedom, for lightness. If you feel the weight of something heavy, something no one else can see, know that you are not powerless against it. You have permission to release. You have the strength to set it down. Maybe not all at once, but piece by piece, breath by breath. Who you truly are will be revealed by what you release. When you finally unclench your fists and let those weights fall, you will remember. You were never meant to survive under the weight. You were always meant to walk free. People learn how to treat you based on what you allow. Every time you stay silent when someone disrespects you, every time you ignore that gut feeling because you don't want to cause drama, every time you put yourself last just to keep the peace, you're not just tolerating it, you're teaching it. You're teaching them that it's okay to cross your boundaries, that your needs can be ignored, that your time, energy, and peace are up for grabs. You see, what you tolerate, you teach. That means if you keep making excuses for people who constantly let you down, if you let people dump their problems on you without ever checking in on yours, or if you let your own dreams take a back seat so someone else can drive, you're setting a standard. You're telling the world, this is fine. But guess what? You can raise the standard. You can unteach what you've taught. You can draw the line and say, no more. And no, it doesn't have to come from anger or hate. This isn't about revenge. It's about respect for yourself. Because the way you allow people to treat you is a reflection of how much you value yourself. And when you start valuing yourself more, everything changes. The people who truly care about you will rise to meet you. And the people who don't will fall away. And that's okay. Not everyone is meant to stay. But here's the shift. It starts with you, your boundaries, your voice, and your decisions. You teach people how to treat you by how you treat yourself. So if you constantly put yourself last, others will too. If you brush off your own feelings, others will too. If you never say no, people will keep asking for more because you've shown them that your yes comes cheap. But when you begin to say, this is what I need, when you say, that's not okay with me, and when you say, I matter too, you shift your energy. And sure, some people won't like the new version of you, and that's fine. You're not here to make everybody comfortable. You're here to honor your worth. You're allowed to have standards. You're allowed to walk away from what doesn't feel right, and you're allowed to protect your peace without explaining yourself to everyone. It's not selfish, it's survival. It's self-respect, it's leadership. Because every time you stand up for yourself, kindly, clearly, and confidently, you're not just teaching others how to treat you, you're showing others how to treat themselves. You become the example, the one who doesn't settle, the one who holds the line, the one who walks in truth even if it's uncomfortable. So if something in your life feels off, if you feel like you're being taken advantage of, or if your heart is tired from always giving and never receiving, just ask yourself, what am I tolerating? Then decide, what am I willing to teach moving forward? You have the power to change the story. You have the right to raise your standards, and you have the strength to reset the tone. And it begins the moment you stop tolerating what doesn't serve you. What you tolerate, you teach. So teach wisely, live boldly, and never forget your worth.